Hello, this is TelecomTV reporting from Santa Clara in California in the United States, and we are at the 7th iteration of the ETSI NFV ISG, and I'm talking with Prodip Sen, who is CTO, Network Functions Virtualization Business at HP. That's important enough, Prodip, but let's start earlier, shall we? You've just relinquished the post as chairman responsible for ETSI's approach to NFV. Now that's over and done with, you can look back with a little perspective. What was it like? Did you achieve what you wanted to achieve? Would you have done things differently?
So first I'd like to say that I am stepping down as chairman, but I'm not relinquishing the engagement. This is a cause I really believe in, and I think this effort we've started has done a lot for the industry, and I want to remain continually engaged in it. So in terms of achievements, I think we set out to create a place where we could encourage work in the industry in this direction, create some momentum, get some movement in the industry to move in the direction that some of us felt should happen. And when we started this with a handful of people, 2 of us initially talking about it, growing to 6, growing to 13, which launched the initial white paper.
Yep.
We were hopeful, but we didn't know how successful we would be. But it's really been rewarding to see the amount of engagement the industry has put into this, and we have over 200 or some odd companies now. And I guess we hit a nerve. There was a need for this, and we sort of acted as a catalyst and got everybody together. So I think we succeeded beyond our original hope of how this would turn out. It's been rewarding to see the amount of dedicated effort by so many companies, so many individuals, and it's been a good 1.5 years. We've achieved a lot. We've produced a set of framework documents. We've produced a set of detailed requirements documents now, and I guess I can gauge the success by looking at what's happening elsewhere. Whenever I go and talk to other companies, other forums, the things we have produced here, that's what they flash back at us. The reference architecture we've done, that's the first thing they show. So I think we've achieved what we wanted to do. Differently, I don't know. We were learning as we went along because we were not sure how to do this. All of us have been involved with many different standards bodies and forums, but we also wanted this to be consciously something different, something which would not follow a typical long standards track, would be more agile, faster. So we were trying to push the boundaries at every stage. In fact, we were happy that the framework within ETSI we chose, this ISG framework, the Industry Specification Group framework, allowed us to do that, because a typical standards body would have many restrictions or many rules which may not have been conducive to what we wanted to do. But this structure allowed us a lot of freedom, and we were able to push the boundaries and get what we wanted to fit within the ETSI rules, but perhaps along the edges of what ETSI allowed us to do. So I think we've been happy with what we've achieved, and it's not been an easy journey. So.
But it has been a pretty spectacular success, looking back where you've come from to today, and the number of delegates here, for example, it's enormous.
It's enormous. And more than the delegates who you see in these face-to-face meetings, there are conference calls at god-awful hours because we have membership across the globe, so someone has to get up at 1 o'clock at night to attend a conference call. So there are people who do that, people who submit contributions, engage in email discussions. This is all where the real work is happening, and what you see, the output of that. So there's a much larger engagement than just the face-to-face. Yes, it is quite a strong engagement in the industry.
Now, as the soon-to-be or immediately ex-chair, I've been told, I've spoken to a lot of people at various of these meetings, and they a lot of them say it's a bit akin to herding cats or trying to herd cats. I'd like to ask you, what were the challenges of chairing a committee composed of so many disparate comms companies and interests, all pulling in different directions initially anyway, and all with different goals? How did you manage to sort of to channel them and focus them in the way you wanted them to go?
So it was a challenge. You're right. There are many companies with different business interests. But when we started this, I was with Verizon, so I was part of the operator community, and the core group which started this group of operators who are will be the users of this kind of technology.
Yeah.
So we wanted to drive it from a user perspective. And the main thing we realized is that if, as a user community, we can keep some cohesion, then all the others, the suppliers and the equipment vendors and all who are participating, will see the user community as a unified force and will listen to that. And that's what we relied on. I was fortunate enough to get a group of people working with me who are excellent in working in this kind of consensual environment and excellent technically and had the same kind of vision. And we were able to keep the operator community together, which again was not easy because each of the operators have different business goals, different business priorities, different constraints in different countries they operate. And so there was always a tension there even to keep the operator community together. And so again, with the leadership team I would like to mention Don Clark of BT and Uwe Michel of Deutsche Telekom, Diego of Telefonica, Diego Lopez, and Tetsuya Nakamura of NTT Docomo. We all work together to help this cohesion of the operator community. And some of the things we tried were not to force consensus on everything, but to step back and try to see the minimum we could achieve, which was significant enough that we could make a difference and provide a direction rather than trying to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. So knowing when to step back and not force the issue was one thing, and then having this team which was consensual to begin with was the other. And one other thing I'd like to say is I think the main thing is all of us had the same vision. And I'll say this now that I've moved on and joined HP, totally different company. Even when I'm here and we're discussing certain things and proposals are coming up and we're each providing our opinion, I'm amazed at even with my new hat, how much cohesion there is in the vision. So that I think was the critical thing which helped it keep it all together.
Prodip Sen, thank you very much indeed.
Good.